Welcome to Stoned Ape Game 3, Episode 3, The Great Potato Pandemic. Where we last left off was Cycle 10, and we're now in Cycle 11, and a lot has happened. We finished off Red, the Stupid Luke team. JSC was making good headway on the Graymason team. And, well, let's go forward a little bit and see how things are transpiring. Everyone thinks Graymason is dead, right? Which is, so we're the blue, but everyone thinks I'm Starshade here on the retreat into the hive. So as we're progressing and the ships are going, you can see I'm winning clusters in the center, and my team, meanwhile, is winning up in the north. And right now we're past about 12 hours ago. A lot of fighting. And what's really important about all this is we're winning. We're winning really, really well. And if you look back here, what happened in the teal, you'll see that both GB and JSE finishes off teal. So we are now down to 5 teams. We're tightly aligned with JSE. And let me do a quick break of a video that I had to make for my team and JSE in private that I sent to them, because the only way we lose is if the rest of the galaxy unites against us before we have enough stars to fight everybody. So let's cut to that now. Well, we are in Cycle 10 and we're at a crossroads. Team JSE and Pandemic here on the northwest side of the map have been working as a team since the beginning. We've taken down the Stupid Luke team of Red. They have destroyed Graymason and crew in the south. We're now left with 5 teams, essentially. The unbreakable JSC Graymason team. And in the east, the Potato, the Hive, and GB. Up until this point, GB and the Hive have been fighting all game. GB has started to finish off the Graymason team, and they're about to engage with Team JSC. The Potato team helped kill Luke team, and then we're fighting with the Hive, but once we betrayed them, we have their full focus. So now we're at a crossroads with 5 teams essentially left, and I get this message. Now, the other piece is everyone thinks I'm dead. Well, except for my team at JSC. But the rest of the galaxy thinks I'm dead, including Bio, who's the Hive. And so he's asking for advice. And oh boy, am I glad he did. What's your take on this? We agreed to a peace deal with Potato Team today, allowing me to refocus on the GB front. Who should fall due to the pressure also coming from Goose's side. But now GB Team and Potato Team want to form a combined front together with us to focus on the other 2 teams. And my team wants to take that deal. I, however, fear we will have difficulty expanding then. So let me be clear what this means. This means exactly what we don't want to happen. The rest of the galaxy uniting before we can own over 50% of the map. Well, so of course I say, well, you're in the middle. You lose in that deal. Yes, my thoughts exactly. Once the enemy's gone, they collapse on you. It's a trap, especially since you betrayed Potato early. You're better off aligning with the other 2 and against Potato and GB. But that's just my opinion. Of course, it's because I don't want him to attack me. But yeah, that war isn't going anywhere, at least for now. What do you mean? I need to help on the southern front ASAP, and for that to happen I need to stabilize the northern border with the Potato Team, and that only happens if we work with them. I said you can have a non-aggression pact with them and push south. Look at the stats, their hands are full. So he's of the opinion to let Pandemic and Potato Team tire each other out while he deals with GB and hopefully ends that threat once and for all. I said you don't need to be bullied into their deal. Yes, that would be my advice. He says, and then I could go and clean up the north once their fleets are spent. I said, exactly. Remember, you are in the position of power here. And he said he learned from the best. And I said, Potato has 0 ability to handle Pandemic and you. Yep. Wink. Cannot wait to see the videos this game. Gonna be good. I had to rewrite my response multiple times. Indeed it will. A truly epic game, full of twists and turns. You never know when you're plotting out with your enemy what you should do. And I'm finally playing a significant role. And he is. Actually, Gaio's playing out of his mind. He's playing great. Absolutely. Too bad you got taken out so early, though. I said, yeah, well, it's way more relaxing. And so, yeah. Now I said, now go, now get out there, kid, and kill GB. And so that is the story. This is the message I need Kane, I need JSE to be aware of right now of what we're up against. The galaxies uniting against us. We need to keep them divided. Well, when you look at what this last message said, it said, God damn it, Cade. It said, GB says, stop war. I would love to stop the war. There's no way either of us get out of this alive if we continue. Everyone in this thread going against Pandemic and the Jewish Star Empire is our best bet. Potato says, I would also love peace with the hive mind. I really want to destroy Pandemic. Then let us proceed. The Potato Delivery League will honor peace with your teams until the total destruction of the Northwest teams. We are also open to trade. Is the hive mind on board with the plan? I got a little more work to do, but you guys need to know this is what's happening. Alright, so that was the message I sent to Kane and Jewish Star Empire, and let's talk a little bit about some more context around that to set off this episode. First of all, I want to draw your attention to this stat. Now, I created this in Excel, and just if you want to know how to create something cool like this, I just went into the Empires tab and pulled out the total line and put that into a spreadsheet and had it do the analyzed data, and it made this really nice chart for me. And what you'll see here is, as a team, so on this bottom section here, we are 11 stars, which is really, if we win 6, they lose 6, we have 50% of the galaxy. If you look, Pandemic, JSE are doing good, Potato is small, Hive is small, and then GB is respectable on many fronts. As a matter of fact, from a ship count perspective, GB has the most ships in the game. So they are a threat, and we are not out of this yet. If GB went against us and everyone went against us, we would probably lose. As you saw, the other 3 teams are trying to unite against us. A couple of other little tidbits. I did get a form alliance with the Fu man, and he did send me a couple of other images here. This is, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see a little bit, but basically this is their front line, and the colors don't match because I have the custom colors to make it easier to see the teams. But the takeaway here is they're also winning. Green is winning and pushing in down here as well. So we're winning on green. They're about to fight GB. We're winning on purple. We're beating Potato. And the question is, what's Hive do? Bio M6 determines the fate of this game. His entire team is telling him, unite, kill the Northwest teams. And now, I will admit, I'm not making it easy. In addition to the stats, I'm leaning into the evil villain a little bit too much. So this is a message from Buttered Toast. I can't stand this guy. These are all just the annoying things I've said to him. Your death, hee hee. Sure got quiet. Here is noise, boom. That your star is blowing up, hee hee hee. Here's visual in case you need. Some of you can't read. This is your home star, and it's a link to the Death Star from Star Wars blowing up Alderaan. Please build warp gates. Let's wrap this up faster. Potatoes taste so good. Nom 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 nom. And then he's like, then I said, where are your friend of potatoes? No one in the galaxy care if you die to Pandemic. Har har hee hee. They just all watch you die. They all next, but don't care. They laugh as potatoes and toast get burned. Get it? That pun. And then he's like, no caps? I said, no cap. Cap key broken? Har har har. All that for a no cap joke. Enjoy your gluttonous gloat while you can. I will. I do. I am. Oh no, here come the 100 ships from Mopal. Whatever do we do? Here, white flag, save me. He. Just complete asshole, really, right? Like, complete asshole. And it's just, I'm having fun. You know what? I'm having fun. So let's jump over then to the most important thing, because honestly, at this point, technically, we overpower Potato. And if we just 1v1 them, we win, hands down. By the time we finish them off, if no one else has come, we're so big we can just kill everybody. And again, it's not an interesting thing, it's just math and being attentive. From a tech perspective, if you look at where we're at from a tech perspective, let's look at Hive, right? So he was number one for we're 2 more scan, 1 more range, 2 more banking. They actually caught up pretty well otherwise than that. They just got, if I go back, I go back 1 tick, they were at level 6, so they just caught up. They just this tick got it, and if you look at where we're at, we get the next weapon in 21 hours. They're like a day behind on that. Look at GB, they don't even have it yet. They are 2 behind on manufacturing. It's a mess, right? There's nobody ahead in anything on us. And honestly, remember, there's teams of 4, so there's like scanning and range and banking just never got researched where we coordinated with another team from the beginning with full trust, and that was the difference. Now, what is keeping this team from doing the thing that would save them? Bio, M6. Now, truth be told, if I were in his shoes, I don't know, because basically they're saying they need to unite. And what happens is if you're yellow and you team with pink and purple, what's going to happen? Let's say they start pushing it back. They're going to be the ones getting all the glory, all the stars. Maybe you push it in the middle and get some, but they grow, not you. You lose either way. Bio's in a really tough position. He's in a really tough position because of how the map played out. I don't know that him teaming with those players makes him win, but I can certainly tell you it hurts me. And since he thinks I'm dead and coming to his star, he wanted my advice. So let's revisit the conversation with Bio from where we left off in that little segue that I sent to JSE and to Kane. Basically, middle of the night, I'm asleep. He says, man, been busy. Okay, so this is a message now amongst this conglomerate on the east. Been busy, what's the plan? Give me a target. Bio wants to attack GB's team. I want to attack Pandemic. For what it's worth, I agree with Mr. Logan, meaning attack Pandemic. And then Bio says, read this. Or they said, read this. I did. You overestimate the capabilities of Team JSE. They're not great at fighting. Their skills are elsewhere. And Logan, who's Cade, says, that's looking at the wrong side of things. Sure, we might not die to GB's team, but Pandemic kills us after potatoes die. And not taking the 44-41 split is a bad idea, in my opinion. We won't get that many from GB's team. Well, I said, not sure I follow. He says, why are they being done? I'm not sure I follow. I'm like, what's the 41-41 split? And so this was from prior to that message. It's from, this is a message from Butter Toast to them. Without teaming up with GB, this is what I see happening. Team Potato dies with Pandemic claiming most of their stars. Yes, that's going to happen. Team GB dies with JSE claiming half and Team Hive the other half. Probably. Pandemic's now twice the size and JSE is now 1.5 size. Easily defeat the Hive. Yes. Yes. Getting a formal alliance with GB's team, or at least a pathway, would give you access to JSE stars. I still think your team comes out ahead of ours in this engagement. Our front with them is much longer and more difficult to defend. You can cut in with a laser focus. Okay, and I said, I have a feeling we get killed if we attack GB. I know we don't gain as much ground from Pandemic, but at least the huge threat is gone and we have a chance at pulling it back. This shouldn't be overlooked either. This proves proves they will lose if we don't help. Also, the 41-41 split would be huge if agreed to right now. Buttertoast says, not sure what the numbers you are looking at, but with Pandemic focused 100% on our team, they have 1,200 more ships and are making 27 more ships an hour than us. Their largest science player is 5 ahead of us, which guarantees a weapon lead. Yes. They currently have 82 stars. We take 41, you take 41. I can draw a map. And right now it's probably the best time to pull back fighting on GB4 before our ships get in range. So, then Bio says he's just going to force everybody's hand. I don't care anymore. I'm too tired. And I said, yeah, Hive's helping them is better for them. That's true, but not for you. They're trying desperately. So what are you going to do? Bio says, attack GB. Thank you, Bio. That's what I needed to hear. He's going to force everyone's hand. And I said, beautiful. That's the right move. Don't fucking attack me. My teammates are against it. I'm going to do it anyways. And I said, someone had to stand tall. They'll thank you later. So, I would potato to them. I will withdraw some ships from our border and advise my allies to do the same. Buttertoast. It appears you don't have a clear upper hand on GB either. This plan is bread without butter, potato without salt. Why didn't you just say you were working with JSE? And the Hive Mind says, we thought it was obvious that they were already attacking GB. This was not obvious, and your plan looks less like unsalted potatoes if you think you can get JSE on your side. They're not on our side, nor will they ever be. God, I'm too tired for all this politics shit. I'm just going to do what I think is best, and you do you. All right. So, he was up late. I said, nah, you 100% will be thanked later, trust me. So, Bio, this is later. Thank you. Thank you for being the one person holding out from attacking Team Pandemic. It is so appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cycle 13. The game has just shifted. The gig is up. The board knows that I am not Starshade, that I am Pandemic. And as a result, of course, the Hive, who figured it out, good job on Bio, is now aligned with GB and the Potato Team to kill us. Now, they may be a little bit late, but they are going to make me pay for that, I am certain. Let's take a quick look at where we're at, and then we'll go into the politics, because again, the whole landscape, the whole game shifts today, shifts this hour. You can see that we've made a tremendous progress on the Potato Team. I actually have completely killed off Megatron. He's got like a carrier of 10 stars, so Megatron is gone. So down here you can see I finished taking all these stars, and my team is making great progress up here. And I want to give a specific shout out to Kane. He's working with, Brittany and Imp are great. They're playing great, but the level of coordination that is really impressive. So you can see talking about, I'm not going to make you read it all, but there is a ton of conversation, and this is all just tactics on who to attack, when to attack. Here's Kane talking about, I'm going to move my ships from 1 to 3 to 2, you do this, here's we're attacking on X, and this whole coordination around this, and it's just, it's impressive, the level of coordination, and as a result, I'm again fairly certain this is Macomer and Jubal Fett, and they are two strong players, and we're pushing them back with numbers, and they're counter-striking appropriately, but we're winning. We're winning up top, and we're winning up top in large part because the Hive's held out. Well, I got a message earlier today asking for terraforming, and I said I wasn't comfortable with it because I noticed this. I noticed a formal alliance between Nadakar and GB. Like, That doesn't make sense. And I noticed there's 445 ships going the opposite way. And then I noticed these 53 ships and 127 ships coming up towards me. And I said, this is not good. And then the request for terraforming came. And then the message from BioM6 came. And again, I know BioM6 from prior games. He and I talk on Discord in the past. I like Bio a ton as a person. And so I did feel bad for misleading him. I mean, not so much that I didn't do it. I did not seek him out, but he was clearly disappointed that I betrayed his trust. And for that, I feel bad. I asked him how he figured it out. I think Sweeps gave him a big clue. And then he said that the time that it took from when he and I spoke on Discord to when in-game actions occurred was a long delay. And then he basically said the attack on GB was going well, and I agreed, but he knew if I was this role, if I was Starshade, I would have seen that they stopped doing that. And then there was one other thing as well. Now, Starshade, who was playing along with it, said he wanted to be a double agent. He wanted to let Bio know what was really happening and then get intel and then fake it and be a double agent to screw me up. But Bio obviously was not having it. So now we're at a point where we are shifting from middle, fights kind of independently to the galaxies in two teams. And so I did send a note to Team JSE to make sure they knew what really is going on, that Graymason and Kane did not die earlier as Sleeb and Starshade. That was a trick to make the galaxy believe I was dead, to not unite them. But now everybody knows, and so they need to know. And so hopefully they agreed to fight with us. At least Guzzes did. He's like the strongest one. And honestly, this may be the way that JSE wins this game, because what happens now is if all three of these teams attack me and my team and let JSE get the win, I could totally see that happening. They will absolutely not let us win playing such a deceitful game, which kudos for them. I'm going to make them earn it. We will make them earn it. I still think we'll probably be able to kill off the potato team. But if, again, they could suicide into us and let the JSE team get the win. And I don't think I could stop that or would stop that if they did. I would not attack Team JSE. So if that's what happens, then he wins, and good for them. If not, we'll see. Oh, I still have a chance. But it'll make an interesting story. So let's see how this goes. Basically, Bio is saying I better not sleep, because he sure as hell won't. They'll be attacking me full stop. Cade's going to be attacking me. Not a car with what he's got left will be attacking me. At least I did get rid of Megatron. But Potato and Butter Toast will be attacking me. Mopo will be attacking me. And the problem is, I'm like right in the center where they can all collapse on me. So these stars will very likely be gone. Oh, we'll see if I can hold it. So at this point, what do I need to do? I need to hunker down. I let my team know, and basically Brittany is going to send all of her ships to help defend. HD will, and we're going to have Kane solo the top on his own. But the rest of the team is going to come down and try to help defend. And we just hold on tight. We hold on tight and see what happens. But yeah. Yeah. Alright, into cycle 13. Yeah, the gig's up. Everyone's attacking us, so let's go through what's happened this cycle. In Discord, it was an eruption of I knew it's and all that. And so I figured let's go ahead and in this space here, which is my battlefront, let's go ahead and stop pushing on Potato, because we know we have our team doing good work up here. But I know the big threat's down here. And so I go ahead and launch just pretty much immediately on everything. And I do take 2 stars, and with that, what that does is give me vision. And what I'm happy to see with this is GB seems to be going for JSE. The way that we lose this for sure is all 3 attack our team, giving JSE the win. But the fact that JSE has to battle GB is a great division for us. Now, with that, we have Brittany also sending down some ships. I'm not sure if they're on the way yet. But you'll be seeing she's sending about 1,000 ships down and to help defend this. What I see down here when I look is 740 from K that had grouped up. Where in here? So 450 with another 181 from the Hive Mind. And yeah. So there's a lot of ships coming our way. You have, of course, it was a matter of course I knew Potato Pandemic would take over that one. That was fine. And then, now they're coming. And so here's where we leave off. We're 2 hours left in the cycle. They're going to be taking some of these stars back. I'm looking for anywhere I could do some damage. I don't really see anything, so I might as well just go ahead and send this guy back home. You go home. I did a little bit of economic damage, not a ton. I softened this up a bit enough to not lose this. I'm going to lose the Fort Sadar. Pandemic tier in I. There we go. It's a little memory for them. And yeah, I had to. I cut the warp gate. I destroyed the warp gate because I figured they would hit that overnight. I am hoping I can save this. Oh yeah. So here's 423, 389 from Brittany, the Circle. They're on their way. Maybe I can redo the warp gate or just let them come down. I guess I'll look at the timing and see what matters, but that'll certainly help. So my 400 that are there now is enough to defend against this, it looks like, right? It's not enough if the Potato team pushes, and then her 800 should be enough to defend against. Oh, there's a 600. There's 600 coming from the Hive Mind too. Yeah, there's 1,000. I'm gonna lose some stars. So hopefully now we can continue. My team's continuing to navigate around this branch of 4 stars. This line. Once these 4 healthy stars are pushed down, you'll see Buttered Toast he's on his last leg. He's only got 6 stars left with 600 ships, and so it's this cluster right here. Once these go down, I've already taken out the other. You'll have Mopal, who's strong, and Potato, who's getting beat down. So once we get past this line, the rest should fall fairly quickly. And once all this is done, once Potato's done, everything collapses on the Hive. So we just have to hold out. This is like the Battle of Helm's Deep. Just hold out till the cavalry arrives. We are in cycle 15. The battle rages on. So let's take a look at what's happened since we last spoke. Again, we're going to be focused for our video right here, secondarily on our front from our allies on Potato, and then the last front is down here with our allies fighting GB. Those are the 3 fronts that this game has evolved into. And so I took over a couple of stars. And so let's go ahead and continue forward from the end of cycle 13. And you can see here, for the most part, what we're doing is just rallying our troops. We did get a nice chunk of support from Brittany. Brittany's got more coming here. And what that does is this really sets the boundaries for us. That's something defendable. I'm a little concerned about this star here pushing over here. I should be able to get to it in time, but because we have Stoned Ape, this kind of a neutral territory. It's going to be hard for them to leapfrog over that, at least in a timely fashion, especially because they don't have as good a scan as us. So really, this is the area, and I don't think I knew I wouldn't be able to hold like a longer line, so this is what I want to be able to hold. So here we're still, this is 9 hours ago, and you can see that they just were able to go through, and here's where we're at today, right now at this moment, 1900 to 1600, but they've got about, what is that, 800 here, yeah, about 800 on this star. So between the two of them, they do slightly have more ships than us, but I don't know that they're going to push it yet, especially because we do have more reinforcements coming in. So we've stabilized. I'll say we've stabilized on this front. What matters now is what's happening in the wells, because I'm not going to most realistically be able to push in on the hive, because I have all of yellow pushing right here on me. And so Brittany supporting me, and me just kind of stick in the middle. I'm going to support roll now, and it's up to HB Imp and Kane to push on Potato and grow on purple. And so if we go back in time a little bit here, you can see the assault. And again, I talked about this line of 1, 2, 3, 4 as our line, and we did capture Potato Fort. And then Milk Barn was the other one that was huge, and we finally captured those two. And then we just now also captured Potato Inquisition. So now if we zoom out a little bit, you see we have that line has been captured, reinforcements coming in, and really it's the potato pandemic is about over. Their potatoes about gone. And so I did a couple more graphs just to get a sense, just to kind of show the progression. This is the day 9 chart versus the day 15. And again, if you look at the star count right now, we are well ahead of any other team. So we were there, and now we're at 100 stars. The next closest one is, 60 some? We were at the highest ships per hour, and we still are. We were at the highest economy, and we still are. That's actually grown a bit. And then our ship count before, like we were in day 9 the highest, but Team GB was a little bit scary. Now we're the highest, and look at the biggest difference between Potato on day 9 and day 15. They have drastically reduced on every metric, but in particular what we care about is that ship count. So we've really done a number. They've done a nice job defending. They're good, strong players. It's Jubalfet and it's Macomer, and that's been confirmed. They played great, but they just outgunned at this point. If you look then at Team JSE, who their ship count was lower, they've caught up, and they are now relatively even with GB in ship count, but higher in economy, and higher in ships per hour. So those two metrics are going to help them continue to push it back. And then you have our combined tech, because our science together is much better. We are now, between the two of us, JSE and Pandemic teams, 12 stars, more than 50% of the galaxy. And you can see Stupid Luke team, again, he's down to 1. Graymason was on its last leg, and now he's pretty much gone. Again, Potato will be the next team out, and it'll basically be Pandemic against Hive, JSE versus GB. I don't actually know how this one ends in terms of if we don't win and there's just the two of us left, because I don't want to attack them. I think we just race to consolidate stars. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. We are in cycle 16. Let us see what's happened in the last cycle. Where we left off was kind of a precarious situation, as our team was taking over the rest of the Potato Butter Toast Mobile group, while I was holding the center. And it looked okay at first, and then when we go ahead about 4 hours from when I stopped recording, boom, down here you see 1,600 ships appear. And it was at this point that I started to panic. Because if you look at this, we have roughly 2,500 ships defending, right? You have 1,000 of them that can attack, and we knew that was just to soften us up. But, you know, there's 800 here, there's another 500 there, and then all of a sudden you have this 1,500, and then you have another 700, another 300, and then this 300. And when you add it all up, we have 2,500 ships defending against their roughly 6,000 ships in Vision. And if you did that, if they all attacked at the same time in one giant death ball, and we had all our defenses in one giant death ball, they win with 2,750 to spare, even considering that they're behind one in weapons. And so I was freaking out a bit, because when my team was basically very focused on finishing things off here, and which makes sense, but I needed my ships. If I turn on to make my stars white, like all these stars here were just defending against the potato. I couldn't even use all of my ships. I'm just using this one stream, and there was a couple of things that Brittany sent over, which was nice, but she only sent like 1,000 ships, and they have 100% of their ships doing nothing but coming towards me. I'm like, I can't defend that, and we're going to get blown up in the middle. So what I asked is for both HB, for Imp, and for Brittany to both just send all of their stars from their initial clusters down this chain to the front line, and just attack up here. Like Kane attacked Potato, and they just help with the stars that are already being produced there. And also then I coordinated with Imp, and we said, let's take care of butter churn. So if we go forward a little bit, here's when it starts. He's softening it. I sent some ships. This is Jubal Fett, who sends me a glazed donut and diabetes. Not very nice, Jubal Fett. And you can see, you know, I absorbed this. Here's the other problem with what's happening down here. They're moving without a warp gate. If you go back from where this was, this pops into Vision, right? One, sits idle, and then it comes. It's making the longest journey because they don't have warp gates. And all the things over here, and I get that they're afraid of being counterattacked, but they've got the numbers. Had they taken and used warp gates and attacked all at once, there was a window where we could have gotten blown up here in the middle. And with everything else flowing here, they could have done some serious damage. Could they have won? I don't know. But that was the window of opportunity. Oh, here was the other thing. So let's go back in time to when we're going back even further, right? Okay, this is about when the gig was up, right? The gig was up cycle 13. And at that point in time, the key technology, terraforming, they're one behind terraforming, one behind weapons, one behind manufacturing. Right? He's, though, the same terraforming with more science, one behind, two behind. And if you look at, now we go forward again, and it's even if we just get back to that point in time where he's sending his 1,000 ships, about here, right? So here we are, cycle 15. So it's been 2 cycles. One behind, one behind, one behind. He's ahead in terraforming. One behind, two behind. So they're not trading tech amongst each other. Why? Like, you need to unite against us. You knew you needed to unite. All they did is GB attacked JSE, and these two attacked us. Why are you not sharing tech? And then he's up to 33 science. Hive Mind's at 24 decent science. Why are they not coordinating science, sharing it amongst all 3 of them, and getting the highest tech? So multiple points of failure on trying to rally against us. And then again, no warp gates. We'll pull this leaderboard up as we're moving forward. No warp gates. And then they just sit here. That big ball of scariness just sits there. He sits here. And then this guy here, what's he doing? Boom, they're getting in range. He starts going the other way. Now, I assume that's to go help defend against all the incoming attacks, but the window is now shut. And even now, today, this moment, now they're 2 behind in terraforming, 2 behind in weapons. He's still keeping pace with us on terraforming, with only 1 behind and 1 behind. So how is it that they're not sharing tech? Big misstep on GB Hive team, really, and you know, that would have benefited Buttered Toast and Jubalfet and Macomer if they would have been able to get fed some stuff as well. They needed to really do that, and they didn't. So at this point, I think this episode's wrapping up. Yes, there's still some potato people left, but if you look down, Megatron is on 1 star, Buttered Toast is on 1 star, Mopal's on 10 stars, and Potato Profit is on 16. And that's short-lived because he's about to lose this one. He's about to lose this one. They're about to. Well, they're about. This one's gonna potentially. Yeah, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose these stars, and it's gonna happen pretty quickly. So the potato pandemic is complete. We'll clean it up, and we'll shift into the next episode where we tackle the hive mind. And now we're getting towards the end of the game, and we need to think about. I did try to talk my team into consolidating when they grouped together, but my team kind of vetoed me, and that was probably the right choice. But you look at the top, we're JSC's main guy, Gooses, is number 1. We're 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's just the enemy. So the only way they win, they being JSE, is if everyone attacked us. It doesn't seem to be the case. Then Gooses has to race us to the top, but they don't have as many stars as us, so I think we're in decent shape. Again, as long as JSC doesn't turn on us, which I don't think he will. We just need to continue working on taking out. If we take out Potato and the Hive, that's enough stars to trigger the end.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, click on the link for the next episode. And don't forget to click subscribe for more content.